How does our educational system keep students interested in the sciences and math? It's becoming a real problem. Welcome to Comcast Newsmakers. I'm Ken Ackerman. Joining us now is Dr. Ann Kruchten here at Linfield College. She is Associate Professor of Biology. Thanks so much for being with us. Tell me your background. Mayo Clinic.
So I finished a PhD at the University of Minnesota in the Twin Cities in biochemistry, molecular biology, and biophysics.
That's where it sounded a lot like mine.
And then I did postdoctoral work at the Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota, before arriving here at Linfield in McMinnville, Oregon.
And you're telling me that students are taking their first year science courses and finding it to be, number one, boring, number two, too hard, number three, they don't feel a sense of community, which college students really need. What is Linfield doing to counteract those three things?
Well, I think at Linfield what we're doing is we're aligning with what's going on nationally. So there are national pressures to start making the courses more interesting, engaging students in research, and really engaging students in a science community. And what we're finding nationally is that those things keep students in the sciences, keep them in what we call the STEM pipeline, so that we don't lose students after their first year, students who are otherwise very talented but are turned off by the sciences. So some of the things that we're doing are trying to build a community of scientists. One thing we've been doing is develop a program called iFocus. iFocus stands for the Interdisciplinary First Year Orientation Camp for Undergraduate Scientists.
See, that's
what we call
hard.
iFocus, right?
Yeah.
And so iFocus brings first-year students in the week before classes start, 10 to 15 students, and these students engage in our science research labs and our math research labs and are working on true research projects, not just canned labs, but actual research that coincides with what we're doing as faculty members. From that, what we try to do is then take those students and ask them to develop learning communities. So a learning community is bringing together students, bringing together faculty who are interested in a particular subject area and working throughout the year to stay involved in those areas. So this past year we had two students, Tika Zbornik and Reese Thompson, who are first-year students. They're 18 years old, and they ran an entire learning community and produced a research project for one of our faculty members. And that research that they did with 9 or 10 other students, first-year students again, 18-year-olds, that's going to be published in a research publication. So we're engaging students early on, trying to get them involved in the scientific community and see what is science really like, because it's not sitting in a classroom and being bored.
You know, and teaching someone how to research is a difficult part of this, isn't it?
It is. It is. It's a fundamental thing that everybody does in their life, right? So if you have your car in the morning and it won't start, what do?
I call it AAA. I don't do any research.
But you can troubleshoot a little bit, right?
You could.
You could figure out if maybe your battery's dead.
Yeah.
Or you could figure out if you forgot the wrong key, you know, something like that. So you can troubleshoot. And so really research for anybody, not just a scientist, is all about troubleshooting, thinking about how do you ask a question and how do you test it. And so that's what we try to model for our science students as well as our non-science students. So for our science students, what we try to do is in our introductory courses, these courses that are typically great big lecture halls, just listening, and regurgitating things back, we actually have them do research projects in those first year courses and have them think about how do you do science? What's exciting about science? For our non-majors, those students, they don't need to know what a DNA polymerase is. They don't need to know what biophysics is, all these terms that you think are fancy on my resume, right? They need to know, when I read the newspaper and it says there's a new cure for cancer, how do you know if that's true, right? How do you know if going to Mexico and going to one of these cancer clinics is better than going to the Mayo Clinic? And so we try to teach those students what's the process of research, what's the process of science, so that they can understand how to be a science-literate citizen.
Dr. Kruchten, thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate it, and we're going to have to hang out more because from your resume we have so much in common.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us. For the crew here at Comcast Newsmakers from the campus of Linfield College in McMinnville, I'm Ken Ackerman. Make it a great day.